About 20 minutes to get to town. And then I'll hang around there and I'll try to hang in.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. I'm gonna put on the light. I don't like my light. This computer has a totally different light, and I don't like it so much. Right.
Really? Okay.
So,
Ding. Ancient knowledge.
what's it?
What's going on?
Yeah, because you know what? There is like, I guess it's a minute because you got the ding after we were on for a minute.
Is that right?
Yeah, because there's a lag. There's a definite lag between like, you know what I mean? Like I said, we were on for a minute and then it goes on Facebook. So they must monitor it.
Really?
Right.
Yeah. It's never actually live. It's always a minute behind.
Sometimes I'll get notifications, Riley went live, and I click on it, and that was like 50 minutes ago. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, many times it's like that.
What the hell?
Yeah, it'll say she's live now and it'll be like 54 minutes ago.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
The
I don't know
Facebook,
what that's all about.
I call them the Facebook fuckers.
Yeah, what
They
can
are.
they do?
Around.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
but what happened actually, just want to question, in Texas? I didn't,
Mhm.
there was kind of the shooters.
Yeah.
What happened
What's
actually?
going on? Huh? What is that?
So there was a school shooting. Oh, this is so getting banned. There is a school shooting in Texas.
Really?
At an elementary school.
Wow.
So I'm going to be 100% honest. I fucking hate society right now because it's fucking stupid. And so I don't pay attention to a lot of it. But from what I know, so an 18-year-old kid still in high school, he's Latino. And I want to say it's called Olveda, Texas, 85 miles west of Austin.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where it was, or where he was from, or whatever, and and that's where the shooting happened. And so the 18-year-old high school kid, okay, who comes from a broken home, full of addiction, lives with the grandmom, real poor, and he won with no job, still in high school. He legally obtained the weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was poor as shit, but he had like $5,000, $7,000 to legally obtain weapons. Right. Okay. So that's number one in the story.
Right.
So
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Then what was it? Yeah. So then the other thing is he's 18 years old in high school, right? Why would you go to the elementary school and shoot up the elementary school? Like, does that, to me, that's weird, right? Like,
It's really weird.
Yeah, you're 18. So if you hate the world, the pressure's coming from your world. It's not coming from kids you don't know in an elementary school. Like, in my opinion, if you're that, fucking, I've had enough, wouldn't you do it to the like community you're in? Like, why would you do it to a complete outside thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also, it's a MK Ultra. I think that guy is totally influenced by mind control.
That guy is dead. So there's no questions to be had. There's no trial. There's no.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Even though none of that makes fucking difference anyway. It really doesn't, because there's all kinds of trials happening right now. But it's make-believe. It's just to make us think that they're doing something and that there's actually a government and a justice that serves us. But it's all just a show.
Yeah, and I think also it's a red state, because red states are for guns. So they really want the guns away. So they set up such stages, which probably it's truly happened. I'm not saying that. But they choose victims and... but it's the other people who do it. Yeah, it's the higher.
That's the first I heard about it. Gerard and I have been, stringing fence and hauling shit and planning stuff and getting high every night. So it's the
So
first
you
we've
guys
heard
were-
about it. We
so you
didn't
guys were
know about it.
actually living in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You were in the real world, so you didn't hear about this new movie
Yeah,
that just came
right.
out yesterday.
Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that was the other thing, right? So
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, just a coinkydink, right? Sandy Hook was the elementary school that happened in 2012. 10 years
Yeah.
ago, 10-year
Mhm.
cycle.
Right.
Cycles, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Biden was vice president under
Mhm.
Democratic leadership, and
Right.
now he's president under Democratic leadership.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, the North Node was in Scorpio, the South Node was in Taurus, and now the North Node is in Taurus and the South Node is in Scorpio. And Pluto was at 8 degrees, Neptune was at 0 degrees in Pisces, the beginning, which is the most powerful deacons of a planet in a sign. And now they're at the end of their cycle, 28 degrees and 25 degrees.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a spell. They use the planets against us. Nobody
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I did it. I just saw your. Yeah, I saw it when I think. Yeah, on just when you wrote about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because immediately now, this is how my brain works now. Immediately when something happens, and especially if it's like something that happened before, I'm like, dates in astrology, pulling up.
Oh yeah, truth. Yeah, yeah. That's your immediately reflex. Okay.
Yeah, I connect dots,
Yeah.
and I just that's
Yeah.
how my brain does, and that for some reason every time I'm like, just like the election, I'm like, let me see the astrology for that day.
Right.
Eclipse.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what other MK Ultra signs are around this 18-year-old kid. I'm sure they're there. Typically, it's parents that are in some sort of intelligence work or in the defense contractor industry,
Mhm.
or military intelligence. Yeah, those are that's one telltale sign. There are others, of course, a lot of others. Oddities, like you just mentioned, like where did this kid get $5,000 to buy weapons?
Right.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yep.
They were
You
left
talk- you
somewhere
talk about-
behind.
talk
You
about,
could just take them.
yeah, you talk about eyes wide shut. That's the
Yeah.
public
Yes.
when it comes to these things. They are responding completely from their emotions instead of
Mhm.
looking at everything
Yeah.
objectively and rationally and asking questions like,
Yeah.
how did this kid get this? How did this kid how did he have access to this? How did he have access to that? How did he get these weapons? How did he get the money for this? What was, and all of it, all right on down the line. Also, another thing is the presence of bases, military bases in the area, or especially bases where there are intelligence assets
Mhm.
on the base.
Mhm.
Hell, I'm probably going to get us banned, but I think most of Gerard's videos have been already banned. So why not one more add to the list?
Yeah.
I know
Mhm.
basically the government, well, not even the government. Okay. Basically,
Mhm.
whoever the puppet masters of the world are said we're
Right.
going to sacrifice a bunch of kids in order to win this next election.
Yeah,
And like I said, it does. Like whether we realize it or not, because Saturn was squaring Chiron when that 2012 thing happened. And so it affects us on an unconscious, unaware level, mentally and physically and emotionally. Like I always say, like, they program the word mass shooting in our head in 1980, and now every time they say it, it's ding, 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 emotional response. We don't
Yeah,
even know
true.
the details, and we're already emotional. And honestly, I don't think people. This is so messed up to say, and I don't mean like, oh, it's horrible that those kids died, but like, dude, we kill fucking kids every day, all day long, all over this planet. None of
Yeah,
us
true.
really care. You know what I mean? None of us are
Yeah.
really deeply so emotional
Also, yeah, in
over it.
all those
Right.
war zones, people,
Yeah.
yeah, so many children die. In Palestine, so many children die.
Yeah.
Well, it's selective outrage, and it's
Yeah, it's always like that. Yeah.
Right.
selective outrage, selective ethics, selective logic, selective consistency.
Mm.
So you're that makes you a selective human being. You're not really there. You're fake.
Yeah.
You know. Well, why care about this atrocity over here and not care about the other 10 that are going on and have been going on for fucking years right under your face?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, say like if we really cared, if we really felt it, then we wouldn't allow it to happen anymore. Because we ultimately have the power. Like that's what I mean. We're so scared that we let people kill our children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how scared we are. Whether
and it's also
say we're brave, but we're scared because we don't know what a world without all these government and whatever entities would be like.
Yeah.
And so we're scared to stand on our own.
And it's also the minds are scattered. Nobody knows how to make dots, connect the dots. That's scattered minds. It's typical. Yeah. What you do. Yeah,
Well,
scattered minds.
It gets back to our complete total lack of any real education.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that hard to teach kids how to connect dots. It's not. All you have to do is start asking questions. Well, you've got this situation here. In a crime, one thing that detectives look for is money. Who stands to benefit or who stands to lose? And start from there. Follow the money. Follow the money in this bullshit. It's not that hard. It is not fucking brain surgery. It's not. It takes courage. That's what it takes.
Typical day in the apocalypse. We're all going to die and a bunch of kids die.
Yeah, basically.
Typical day.
Basically,
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and actually, I had today a beautiful little live stream from kind of a healer, but she was from Belgium. So I wanted to put it on the group, but it's not translated. But it's so beautiful, and she says, like, whatever, we are in transition time, and really everything is transforming. And the thing is, it just happens when you just tune a line. You don't have to do any kind of effort. You don't need to analyze. You don't need to go in in the depth of your traumas, whatever. But the earth takes you just higher, and it heals spontaneously. And it was so nice to hear. But you get the pain, and then you release it. You feel the pain, and you release it. That's what she was telling, and she experienced that. It was really beautiful. But yeah, it was only 12 minutes. I can put it on our group messenger, but I don't know if you can translate it. But it was really beautiful. It was like so much actually going to the other. Yeah, everything is crumbling down because she said the old world is totally dying. No matter what you try, just the last breath of how you say them. And the new world is already rising. So you focus on that. And it was actually quite very beautiful. And moreover, because you experienced that inner transformation without that she was busy with it or whatever she said. She said, on the contrary, when you try to control it, it doesn't happen. Just, transformation never can be controlled. It needs to have its own process. Therefore, you can...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So therefore, actually, better don't avoid it. Let it happen. Yeah.
Right. Well, like how you're all hopey about in 2 years we'll have a golden age. And I'm always like, no, like 2000. But like 2000.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more. In that case, I'm not as dark. I can be
Yeah.
very dark, but no, I think within 2 years we're there. No,
Yeah.
let's say 3 years.
But like,
Okay.
so nature, like I always say, right? What is it? If you want to learn patience, you learn from nature, right? Because
Yeah,
nature
true.
does things in its own time. And sometimes, like even a tree, right? You plant a tree and like, you know, you're waiting a year or two and it's this small thing, but before you know it, 10 years has gone by and it's a big tree. So it's slow. And like for us to awaken and actually really move to a freer state and in the midst of all the crumbling down of the old, like for that to happen and become stable, it has to happen naturally. And that's why it's going to take a long, in my opinion, ass time, because it's not going to happen in my lifetime. And then but the thing is like what my kids see and what I teach them, and they, you know, and then after generation, you have more and more people who are freer in mind, I guess you could say. But in my opinion, it's going to take generations to happen.
Yeah, but the thing is with the transformation, they skip this. I think they skip something over. I don't know. Normally it would take years and years, but without with the higher frequencies, everything gets more. I would say dissolved more. Yeah, spontaneously because
Like a
you're.
bolt.
Hmm?
Like a lightning bolt, like Uranus, like
Yeah,
a jolt.
something like that. So you
Yeah.
don't need to go through it all the time again and again through your traumas, through whatever didn't work out. This energy of Mother Earth is so much higher. And I mean, that's also what Pam Gregory says. So it will take you through and you leave the old behind. And it's like you start with I think the possibility to start with a kind of blank sheet if you let it happen. Maybe that's too much asked, but I think because we're getting out of the 3D world and we're going to a 5D slowly. So all that trauma and that karma will be just deleted, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, for the people who are just little, not for the ones who are the cause of it. They will not go through that world. They cannot. They will never be there. They will just stay behind. Maybe still in another realm where there is still 3D, where they will have to deal with the consequences. I don't know. But that's my thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like right now we're getting that jolt, but like I said, we really have no concept of time, and
Yeah.
you know, like things go on for hundreds of thousands of years. You know what I mean? So to me, a jolt from the universe is like a 5-10 year span, and then you have to grow from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know that joke from there is because there is no time in the heaven, and of course there is different. And this one, and so one man is poor and he prays to the gods, and suddenly Shri Krishna appears and he says, "Oh," and Shri Krishna says, "What's the matter? Huh? Can you?" So he asks first, "What is for example, 1 penny?" In how much is it worth in your world? Oh, for earthly terms, it's like maybe $1 million. Oh, wow. And then he asks, Shri Krishna, and what else? Oh, can I have a penny? And then he says, oh, Krishna says, oh, yes, wait a second. But the second is like some 100 years. So the time difference.
Yeah.
So,
Well, things, you know, measurable things, whether it's a tree or, you know, an object or time or space is relative. And a lot of people confuse that with thinking that invisible things, truth, justice, that those things are also relative, and they're obviously not relative.
No, they're not.
Those are constants. Those are things that are eternal. Those are things that are absolute truth, and they do not change. Natural law does not change.
Yes.
Natural law doesn't change for man.
No.
Natural law doesn't change because you know, disagree with it. doesn't give a shit about your opinions about it. It
Mhm.
just is. It just
Yes,
is.
exactly.
You know, and so that distinction between regarding things and their relative condition, because everything in this experience of reality, this physical level of reality, things are constantly moving, changing, being born, growing, decaying, dying, and then the whole thing is recycled again. So there's constant motion, there's constant movement, and yet there are things that do not move, things that do
Yes.
not change, things that are eternal, and things that I guess you could say last, but that's only a
Yeah.
perception of a consciousness that is
Yeah,
limited
true.
to
That's like
to
when we
a
were
3D
talking
experience.
about. Yes.
Go ahead.
So like the
Yeah.
spirit is absolute. It's not like energy. Energy
Mhm.
changes and it penetrates and goes away, but spirit is
Right.
absolute. It's ever. So same
Right.
thing, yeah. It's those
Yeah.
things don't change. Mhm.
Yeah. They don't. They don't. Yeah.
So
So where's Gerard?
I don't know.
he went to town. He had to do something.
Okay. See
Didn't he
see what
say he had
happens.
to?
See what happens when I leave him alone for an hour. Damn it!
So are we spirits?
What?
But seriously, I don't want to forget me in my next life.
Yeah.
No, your spirit
Um,
is always.
You
That
know
will
what I mean?
never. No, but no, your spirit
Well.
is your true self, is the light you are, and the DNA code you have is your experiences and everything what you did in throughout from the beginning of time
Okay.
to
Mhm.
yeah. So
Right.
but
Well.
spirit is always the same, never changes. Spirits cannot be killed, cannot yeah.
The spirit is like the source.
It's the source, yes, it's always linked to the source. When the source is gone, we don't know that, then everything is gone.
Yeah, but do you think the source could ever go? I don't. I think it's almost like in my mind, it's almost like God's this like if you could see it in the universe, it's this like shiny ball of light, right? And it's made up of all these like little movie atom thingies, and then it just constantly like collapses on itself and spreads itself out through the universe and collapses in on itself and spreads itself out in the universe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I can understand what you mean. Yeah.
Like it
So-
constantly becomes one by letting itself go. And then we are all the little tiny nerve endings of himself letting himself go to experience this world to come back to the oneness. Does it-
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
We
like,
just-
Jesus
you have
says,
to go-
we're like God and nobody will listen. That's totally right, because we're pieces of God, literally collapsing in on itself. And
But we are not the battery. We are not the battery.
No.
That's the heart of God, I would say. That's the battery. I mean, yeah, symbolic or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it now. This is what
Yeah,
I'm
it's true. But mhm.
yeah, but seriously, like I envision it like that, like a thing that comes out, and then all of us, like, because sometimes I used to say, but like sometimes, like I like to think that the stars, like, so all those stars are other beings, and those stars are looking down at us, and we're all lit up like stars too.
Could be.
That's how we see each other universally. That's what I think.
Yeah, there are a lot of but in myth and in sage, I don't know, myths and mythology, many times somebody gets back is put back in the sky and is remembered as the star with that name.
Yeah.
So must be something to it.
Do it, yeah. Yeah, because I was always like, I wonder if they're just other beings and they're looking down at us and we look all like stars. It's really us shining back at them. Yeah.
That is when we only see the light and not the matter. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
In other dimensions, oh yeah, that was interesting what Stephen Greer was telling. When they come from other civilizations out of universe, there is no or yeah, it's less matter. Now we're again with two.
I'll always end up us.
Yeah, and I mean, and they come in 3D, and then they become matter. So from when you go down to 3D, everything becomes matter. I mean, dense matter. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, now we're here again with two.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today again, because seriously, we have this great world and we're just wasting it doing this weird society matrix thing.
Yeah.
You know, like we're wasting it. We could be doing so much. Because, like, I was just thinking about it, like, even people who, let's say, are middle class, they're not rich, right? Like, they say things like, oh, oh, well, I got enough to leave my kids some money and pay for my funeral. So, like, people worry about have enough money to die so their family doesn't get stuck with the burden. Like, how sick is that as a society that we accept
Yeah.
that's normal?
It's very sad. Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy. We're so not actually living because we're in this weird
That's a death
kind
cult,
of
yeah.
mentality cult. Yeah.
It's really a death cult. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. 'Cause,
And
like,
that is
go ahead.
yeah, that is what you're always saying. It's the if we can rise above it and everything becomes positive and constructive, all those dark powers, they will just disappear because they cannot handle the light or the love or whatever.
No, they can't.
They can't. And that's why they always keep, that wasn't Daniel St. John, she's put it on the line. If we could laugh, or just if everybody in the world could laugh even for 3 minutes, it would be a totally different world.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say too about that's what I mean. Like, we say about raising the vibration and the frequencies and collective conscious and da da da. But I mean, it's actually quite simple, right? Like, whether we are aware of it or not, we're in a death cult. Whether we are aware of it or not, we live out of this state of fear of survival, which is tied to money, because of money, right? So we may not realize it, but that's the constant state in which we act out of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In our daily lives. So if we, on the majority, acted out of a state of, like, not having to worry about survival and knowing death isn't the end, and, you know, we honor our dead and we take care of our elderly and the children are learning, and, like, we act out of a state like that, then yeah, naturally the whole energy vibration level of the planet is going to change. We're going to change. We're going to be like, what we build and create would be different because we would see and act different. So we would think different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but
No, yeah, it's true. And also when what I was thinking. Oh yeah, so how less people go to the education indoctrination camps, how better they become in solving problems. It's just you're not able to solve problems when you're too much focused and programmed by the system. You can't. But
no.
people who never were able to or hardly to go to school or to be educated, they have much more creativity and much more inventive, and they're more the people who are, in a way, much more freer too, because they have not that kind of indoctrination.
Yeah, well, because we've been taught how to think, instead of just learning how to think naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because,
or learning from nature, like the Native Americans, they learned everything from there, the good observing skills, and they learned, and then they learned how to live in harmony with nature. Because what was kind of remarkable, they say you conquer nature, and they say we don't conquer nature, we live in harmony with nature. So different between the West and between them. Yeah. That's so many different things. So like they have also the patience, because like the time, maybe always like, oh, we have to do this, we have to do this. I have no time. But they don't have that time concept so much. And then when they don't look for something, but what they need, it comes to them. So
Right.
it's also in nature. They say, oh, like there was in that book from neither wolf nor dog, from that's from a writer who writes a conversation between an elderly and a journalist. He's then a journalist, of who works with Indians, and he says, "You don't know nothing." And the elderly starts, "You don't know nothing about natives. Although you live 10 years with them, you don't understand no way, know how they think, how they perceive, and how they observe. So you don't know. You just think with your right mind that you understand this, but you don't." And he keeps explaining. So like so so difference is like we are looking for something, but they don't look for something. The things that's like Taoism, they come to them. So if you're looking for an animal to want to see, oh, and because they were walking, oh, and you say, "Did you see that animal or that animal of that stone?" "No, no." And the white man, "No, no, no, I don't see him." And because his mind is more scattered, so no, you don't have to look, because you start looking with your effort of the mind. And my mind is still, and then the animal appears. An animal only appears to you when it wants to be seen by you, otherwise not. Something like that. And and then I was also surprised. Wow, that's such a different way of approaching the nature.
Yeah.
So yeah, and because also they're much more rooted. They have that patience. I mean, they had that patience, whatever. I mean, it's the one who still have it, but yeah, it was very interesting. And yeah, and learning, like you said, is also totally different. They learn from nature. They don't indoctrinate their children. They learn. That's like mutual learning, because every child
Right.
is unique and has something new. So they try to integrate that in, and to respect it. So the knowledge, I mean, the knowing how gets always elaborates. Like yeah, I mean, it's a very beautiful book. I don't have it anymore because I left it in America. I cannot buy it here. It's really a book, nice to read. Actually, it's very nice to read as a book for a change, like a different chapter. It's not so. It's not really thick. Maybe it's maybe 200 pages. Small book, not much more, but very good. And there's also movie, but the movie is also good. The movie, neither dog nor wolf, but the book is always deeper. You can
Always
never
better.
explain. Mhm.
Yeah. The book
Oh
is
yeah, and it's also like this. So that white guy went to a reservation, and then he and he says, "Okay, is that a skull from?" No, he was asking for, like pieces of bones and things like that. So, no, of you, like how old is? He was looking for old, the elders from the elders from the elders. Like, do you have? He was asking, do you have kind of info from them? Like we have museums where the bones. No, no, we respect the bones of our elderly. They are in Mother Earth. We don't expose them. This is kind of very creepy for us that you do that. Also, some totally different. And it's like, so in all those little things you can see that they are a living, respectful culture, and that we are a dead
right.
culture, like exposing, this is a skeleton from this and this time, and you want to study it. And they say, no, we don't do that. We have the wisdom. We don't need to study it to analyze those bones.
Yeah, that's like the Vatican and the Catholic Church and stuff like that. And like they would have, what are they called? Holy relics. And it's like the finger bone of a person and the skull of a person and the bones of a person. And then they would have like the king kiss it and stuff. And like, that's what I mean. That does sound like some weird ass ritual to you people.
That's witchcraft, more.
I mean, yeah. They're all dressed in red and white and they're getting on their knees and they're kissing the skull of a dead guy. And I mean, and they have all those tombs and catacombs and stuff where the skulls all over the
Yeah, and
walls.
that's very bad vibrations. And my guru said
Yeah.
that's extremely bad vibrations. She
Oh,
says, and then they're buried under the church. So like all your dead cult is under the church. She said it. And yeah, it's really
It
crazy.
is.
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
so I mean, I'm not dissing Jesus. I'm not saying Jesus is a bad guy or didn't exist. People stop thinking that. I'm not anti-Christian or whatever and or
mhm.
Jesus. And I actually like, sounds corny, but I do love Jesus. He was freaking cool, right? And seriously, he was. So I just don't believe in him the same way you guys do. But they really used him, right, as this symbol of like they totally turned like say natural divinity upside down by using Jesus in some kind of weird ass ritual spell that seriously casted upon us for the last 2000 years.
Exactly. Because they put him on a cross, and there's always a cross as symbol, and then they put a dead body suffering. And that is, my guru said, that's the worst thing you can do to a holy man. That
Yeah,
is absolutely disrespectful. Even other cultures find that disrespectful. And that's also what the Native Americans said. That's the most disrespectful you can do. If you say you respect of that a creature is holy or it's a god to you, we don't do that to our gods like you do. We don't kill our
no,
gods. Also something
right,
like that. You kill your gods. We don't do that. It's the
right.
same thing. And then also when I was in Hawaii, and Father Damien, it's the one who lived with the lepra patients in the time in the 40s or something, or before, a little bit earlier. And so he died, and the people respected him because he lived between them, and he was very respected. And then Father Damien said, when he died, yeah, I want to be buried here between my people. This was for me. They respected me. It was a lot of, and he loved them, and they loved him. But then, of course, the church declared him. He became holy, according to the church, and they wanted his body back. But then, so they wanted to take his casket and they put it on a boat and bring it, I think, to Rome or to Belgium. Or then, not because he's from Belgium, but I think to Rome. But then the people said, no, he doesn't want that. He wanted to be buried here. Well,
Mhm.
of course, they didn't listen. But then the casket disappeared in the ocean. It did. And then they tried to, because it was ruined and things like that. Because, yeah, see, the people, the willpower of the people was stronger. So, but then I think something that they put, that they cut his hand off or something, and they put it, now you can look at some places where the hand of Father
Yeah.
gone. So
And
crazy.
yeah,
It's so,
that's awful, really. And you know what? Because that's the other thing. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and then there's a few other from other cultures, but I don't know them.
yeah.
And they all have like a few chapters of how like you are supposed to care for the body after death because it takes time for the soul transition to the next world. And if you start fucking around with their body, you can mess that up. And maybe that's why they made really actually holy good people and displayed their bodies and dismembered them and
Yes.
stuff to disrupt. Like I said, it's just a total constant
Exactly.
disruption of love energy that they
Yeah.
do to us. It's awful.
Yeah, it's true.
And they get us to worship it like it's normal.
Yeah, and I think
Good.
my guru said something. I'm not really sure. I just maybe, or whether I didn't read it. If you amputate the body, next life that person will be born without that hand, or without what you took away from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's really awful. So that's why you should never give your body for science. Just make sure you be buried totally, or whatever, that nobody gets a piece of you. That's very important.
Yeah, I seen this meme, right? And I was, it's great. I want a Viking funeral, but I don't have a boat. So just throw me on some rich guy's yacht and light it on fire. I would totally go that way.
Yeah, me too.
Just throw me on some rich guy's boat and light me on fire.
Yeah, but you see, but in India, they burn their dead, and they put the ashes, they bury the ashes of bring them somewhere at the beloved place of that person. But that is not so bad, because then everything is gone, nobody can take it away, and that's why I think, oh
Right.
yeah, better do that.
Right. See, I don't think it's supposed to go down that fast. I think
No, you have to wait,
Yeah.
because before, when you're dead, and
Yeah.
if they start burning you immediately, then you feel, it seems to be that your other kind of body, your etheric body or whatever, feels the pain from the burning. So you have to wait at
Yeah.
least 3 days.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like the, like I said, the Egyptians, they say it takes, it takes some time for your soul to transition from this realm to the next realm. And so you have to take care of the body. And I'm like, so like, you can't light it on fire, even if you can't. Because what if you're like in midway and then all of a sudden you're on fire and you're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? You get lost or something. And yeah, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so
It's
a week,
yeah.
maybe like 7 days to figure it out. I mean, I know
Yeah,
time is
true.
different,
You
but
need actually a week
yeah,
time.
yeah,
That's the
6,
best
7,
time. And
yeah.
yeah,
On the
unless
7th
you're
day,
very,
rest
very
it,
much
right?
evolved, then your spirit knows where to go. I mean, like
Yeah.
now the human beings have a lot of them have now a higher awareness. So for them, they will know I'm dead, and they will not get stuck to the body so easily. I mean, a lot of people still will, but
Yeah.
with like I think with a more awareness, a higher awareness, it's more easy to I think to leave the body.
Yeah, I do too.
I think so.
Like I said, like that's like, because all the people that believed like death was great, all those cultures were killed off by the Romans and the Catholic Church, right?
Yes.
Because it was pagan. And but all those people would always be like, don't be afraid. Frey is here with her chariot to get you. You're going to Valhalla. You're going to
Yeah.
the you know what I mean? Like, it was always this great thing when you died. It was never a scary thing for them,
Yeah.
and even though they would cry and mourn, it was because of their pain of losing them. They weren't like scared or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, for them or whatever, not knowing. And yeah, and that's the other thing, they got us scared to death. And so at the final stages of our death, we're in fear, and we've been brainwashed that if we weren't good enough, we're going to hell. So talk about, those are your last mental thoughts before you
Yeah.
die, and spells and trapping energy. Like, I bet you that's what has made our 3D realm so dense.
Yeah, true.
because the
Exactly.
energy of these people that are supposed to go on to somewhere else is just stuck here.
Yeah, I
and
think
it's
so
enter.
too. That is
It
that
makes
is
it heavy. Yeah.
it's really heavy. Yes, that is, and that's what their goal was, that we cannot evolve to a more heavenly
Right.
world. That is what but yeah, luckily we are now in transition time, so that they cannot hold the lie anymore longer. That is something that's for sure, but still, I think there will be a kind of suffering before we are there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you guys ain't seen suffering yet.
Oh my God.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
I can hear that train a coming. It's
Mm,
coming
yeah.
around the bend.
Okay, where is Jonathan?
I know Jonathan and Gerard are gone.
They're gone. I think
Hanging
only
in
leave
there
the
trying
ladies on their own.
I know. Trying to keep it going so they get back and they sleep back
Yeah.
up.
Anyhow, but yeah, that was quite interesting. Those two different cultures with two, and I should read that book again, but yeah, I don't have it anymore. Maybe I can order it again, but it's so beautiful. So then you can see the humbleness, because humbleness gives you a lot. Is people who are close to Mother Earth, or like really close to Mother Earth, they're humble from nature, because they feel the awe of Mother Nature. They feel what she does, and
Yeah.
they naturally get more humble, and that's why they get the wisdom also from Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Mother Earth gives the wisdom, comes from Mother Earth, a lot of wisdom to those people who are simple from minded, or the meek people. How do you say it? No, heaven is for the, what is the saying in the Bible? Heaven, right. You shall inherit.
The meek.
The meek shall inherit.
The
Yeah,
earth.
yeah, but that does not mean the meek how we think it is.
Yeah.
It's more the innocent, simple-minded people who are not full with that wrong knowledge, more
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, and yeah, probably it's like that.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, But yeah, that was the last. Yeah, and that Christina girl also says a lot because it's so also nice to read. Do you have a book with you? Maybe you start reading something out of a book because I'm a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because you keep going, but I don't know if you're.
Yeah, I want to keep. Yeah, I want to keep going, but I'm waiting for them. But I what else can we talk about? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I don't really have a book on hand because, yeah, see, we have to get this together because because they say they want to keep doing it every week, right? Well, Jonathan's usually
does. Yeah.
oh good, yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan gets a pass, but Gerard, you're getting on the hot plate, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's always escaping. Yeah. I feel like okay. We're.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a talk,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
no,
and
it was-
TikTok is more important. We are not TikTok
we're not as important
fans.
Yeah, you know what was funny when I was out there in Texas, right? I had to pee. And so I was like in the greenhouse, but outside of the thing. Outside of whatever. So
The cop house. The cop house. The cop house, and then the greenhouse is around the cop house, right?
Yeah. And it was like late at night and stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm not going out there by myself, right? So anyway, so I'm like on the side and I hear the door open and I'm like, I'm paying. He shuts the door and he goes, oh, we're family now.
Yeah.
No, it was funny.
Yeah.
No, seriously, me and Gerard together are like brother and sister, goofy. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
different.
he's definitely the big brother, but I'm definitely the one that would be like, all right, dude, let's go. It's time.
Yeah. It's more. Yeah.
Step one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can imagine they live. Yeah, but like Jonathan was telling, yeah, they live in their own world, doing the things they can do. But still, I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not really off grid either. There are a lot of dependent. If everything falls out, it still will be not. I don't know if they still can survive without everything
Oh, well, yeah.
because they still need a lot from the world, from the 3D world.
From the 3D world. I
Yeah.
know, but that's the whole goal to eventually get so you don't, but no matter what, you're going to have to get the supplies because, like, even if you go solar,
True.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know a bunch of people that know how to make a lithium battery. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So that's what I was saying about
I
money.
wouldn't know
No
either.
matter what, no matter how hard you try to completely disconnect, as long as money exists, you can't.
Mhm.
Unless you're good with going without electricity and shit.
Yeah, some can. Some.
Or
Yeah.
or you could do old fashioned like water mill.
Yeah, I think, but yeah, I don't know. If you have like Claudia, she does do now. It's not totally off grid, I think, but she has the creating cabin life. But yeah, she's electricity and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, yeah, but she makes sure that she has a big supply of food. That she's very good in it, and she have that, and she has a lot of wood. A whole shack with wood for if there is no heat because she lives in the north in Maine. It's very cold. Yeah, with wood and for colder times. So I think she's quite prepared. But then again, her climate is where she lives is extremely cold. So
Well, that's what I was saying, even about us, right? And not going to work anymore and stuff. Like, that's what I mean. They would make us suffer. Like, they would turn off the electricity. They would, like, I'm not saying something like that would be easy as shit. And like you said, like, that woman said, we honestly don't have to do anything. Well, that's what I mean. We don't have to do anything because as long as we could survive without electricity and all that, like, people would have to survive without it. But you can do that for like a month. They would collapse way faster than we would.
exactly. Because
They
that
would.
guy said, yeah.
I mean, it'd be a shitty month, but I think actually probably people would band together more and take care of each other, and it would actually be a good thing.
I think so too. At least we know how to cut a cucumber.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. You think even if it lasted a year, we would have a better chance of surviving than they would because they
Yes.
don't know how to grow food. They don't know how to drive. They don't know how to. The chick doesn't even know how to cut a cucumber.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't know how to dress themselves. Nothing of that
No.
kind. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
We will survive.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
literally. She said, "I'm hungry," and her mom said, "Do you want me to call the chef?"
Crazy.
That is how they live. You think they're surviving a year without us running the machines, without us doing the food shopping, cleaning, cooking, all the
Gathering the food.
transporting products that they want and stuff, deliveries. Yeah, we totally would win.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because as the power falls out, the robots also fall out. I mean, if they have robots,
Mhm.
I mean, that will not be living.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Well, they have robots, but I don't know if we're at Terminator stage yet.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but they need a battery. They need a battery.
Yeah.
If their battery is empty, they can't do
Yeah.
anything. So
Yeah, if nobody is at the docks to run the what are they calling it? The big machines to pick up the trailers off
Yeah.
the boats and load them onto the trucks and deliver them their batteries, guess what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't do
Yeah.
all that stuff. None of them do any of that. The people
No.
that make decisions for us have no idea what 1 minute of our lives are like.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Mhm.
yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So why are they telling us what to do? I hate them people. I can't. I hate them. So
Oh,
Ah,
Gerard, he says, no, sorry. Jonathan says that he can't get in because Gerard is not is somewhere out in time, lost. And he can't get in, but that's funny because he has to put up StreamYard if you get out. Isn't that like that?
no, it can still run off of his page.
Ah, so because when I get out and I go back and I just push on StreamYard again on that, then I come back in. I know he has to be put
He
in.
has to put you in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's say we miss you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, Gerard said an hour and it's been 53 minutes. And so I say we should actually, he said he'd be 20 minutes, which 20 minutes is an hour on Gerard's time.
Yes, for sure. Mhm. Yeah, you should.
But stereotypes aren't real. I'm just a racist.
I will tell we're waiting. Yeah. Mhm. And why does he always go to town when we have a kind of
I don't know. Ask
ancient
him
knowledge? Why
Friday.
just
I don't know. Ask him on Friday.
yeah.
We're still live. There he is. He's in audio now.
Okay. Let Jonathan in. Mhm. Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan.
Ah, there you are.
Christine was talking shit on Gerard.
Yeah, we are doing a live stream ancient knowledge, and there we are. So we did our live stream, so we're almost.
It's been an hour, guys. It was fun. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And Jonathan
got locked out.
Yeah, you got kicked out.
Poor guy.
I know you guys don't love us anymore. It's really messed up.
Yeah.
We do. We're thinking about y'all every moment for the last 7 days while we had man time.
Yeah,
Crazy
and then
man time.
And then when you're supposed to spend 1 hour with us,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. If we lived
Well-
in Texas, if we were there, Gerard, you would owe us flowers right now. So
Well, so yeah, technically, because we're living off grid and it's hard to do and there's not a lot of time.
I know.
And I don't know. Somehow I'm trying to figure out how y'all owe us flowers, but y'all owe us some flowers. I don't know why, but I'm gonna lie and I'm gonna make something up soon.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Where time we lost Jonathan again?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm,
Yeah,
he's
it's just a
probably in a
bad
bad
day.
spot. He was in a good spot when we were starting, and maybe he drove to another
Yeah.
place. I don't know.
Yeah, you get like hardly any signals out there. It's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, when you get out on the back roads down here on Mexico, your phone keeps jumping on Mexico towers, so you keep losing your calls and signals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
All right. I'm sorry I couldn't be here the whole time. In fact, I don't think I was here at all. But it's a hectic day. It's at that time of year. I've got hundreds of trees in the ground and all kind of crops growing. So the number one priority has to be food growing in times that the government's saying food's going to be expensive and scarce. So
It is
Mhm.
expensive. It's ridiculous. It is
Yes.
ridiculous. I can't
It is.
stand
and energy. So most importantly, just got to make sure that's taken care of. But next week, I'll try to
Okay.
lock myself down somewhere.
Yes. Okay, because we need attention too, besides your TikTokers.
Yeah.
Because
I
still
didn't dare to mention it. I didn't
I
dare
have
to
to pay
mention it.
1,000 to hang out with you on TikTok.
Yeah, for
Yeah, that's
2
how
hours
bougie
you're
you
hanging
are.
on TikTok for 2
That's
hours.
how-
Number
And you
one.
can-
That's how bougie you are. I can't hang out with you on TikTok till I have a certain amount of friends to reach Gerard status.
Number one, we're not going to do TikTok racism. All right, we're not doing that. I
That's
have
not-
one. I'm a one platform man. I do not cheat on social media. I have one platform at a time. I cannot do two. I can barely do part TikTok and part Facebook. So I just don't believe in two timing.
Yeah, but you
Facebook.
can leave
Wow.
TikTok on Wednesday at least. One day, no TikTok.
Well, actually, I'm doing like a couple days no TikTok now. I'm
Because
actually
Jonathan is there. Mhm.
yeah.
That's
I'm running out of time for social media. Period. So until like the summer when everything's planted. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just finagle and juggle, try to make everything work best that I can. And I promise that you're not the only ones who think they owe some flowers. A lot of people want some flowers. Jonathan wants flowers for something. Everybody needs something, and there's only so much little old me can do.
No.
One day, somebody gonna give me flowers. One day.
Aw.
One day, somebody's gonna send me a teddy bear. Somebody's gonna send me some flowers, some tulips, maybe.
It would die because it's at the PO box and it would take you like a day to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, flowers you should
You have
Yeah.
no address. Nobody can send you anything. I'm kidding.
flowers in the mailbox. Won't
Yeah.
happen.
All right, folks. I gotta get going. I really hate to do this, but I got stuff in the PO box. I got solenoids and
Okay.
seeds and other things I gotta grab. Then I gotta go get water. Then I gotta figure dinner out, and then I take my butt back and finish doing my work, and we'll see where that gets me. But listen,
Okay.
wonderful. I would lock myself down next week. We will lock down. Damn it, we can do the monkeypox, and we're gonna do ancient knowledge. We're gonna do a lockdown. Got to play with the monkey first.
Okay, we're not going there.
Yeah, we are not going there.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Well, yeah, we're not going because I'm a crazy mountain man. I live on the mountain. I'm not going to tell the stories and details. Listen, everybody, thank you for joining. This is Christine, Susan, Jonathan, and Gerard when he can with Ancient Knowledge.